Okay, you guys, so today we're going to be using our 7 elements of art. Our elements of art are line, shape, color, texture, value, space, and form. And we just went over those, okay, to make this shaded still life. These are a lot easier to make than you would think, and you guys are all going to do a really good job. I'm going to walk you through it. It's going to turn out really great, okay? The only element we're really not going to use is color, but we're going to use line and shape to create form, and maybe even some lines to create some texture. And then next week when we come back, we'll add value, which is the shading, to help emphasize form. And then you're also going to have some space today, okay? So what I've given you is a paper that looks like this. It's a half sheet of paper with the top of what we're going to have as our cylinder, or our cup. You want to turn it so it's a smile. We don't want it to be a frown. Okay, we're going to turn it like this so it looks like a smile. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw our cylinder or our cup. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is draw 2 straight lines down on the sides. And I want you to do that. Now I'm drawing in Sharpie so you can see really well, but you guys are going to draw in pencil. So if you make a mistake, you can erase, and then you can trace in Sharpie when you're done. Okay, and then at the bottom, you're going to make it smile. You don't want to draw a straight line because remember, we're trying to make it have form, and form has roundness. So our cylinder, if we make it straight, is just going to look like a rectangle. Now at this point, if we were just drawing the cylinder, we would draw the back side of it with a frown. But we're not just drawing the cylinder, we're putting stuff in our cylinder or cup. And so we don't want to draw the back side because then we would have to erase where all of these objects are. The other thing I want to point out is that when I drew this and when you draw it, you're going to want to draw shorter items up front so that they're like in front of these other objects, and then we'll draw our taller items later. And that's going to be easier and create that illusion of depth and space, okay? So let's start with a pencil. I think we can all do a pencil. Now you don't have to put your pencil here. You can put it in the middle. You can put it here. I don't care where you put your pencil. But I'm going to draw a pencil with 2 straight lines up like this. And you kind of want to emphasize it. Make it like a jumbo pencil. It's going to be easier to shade in if you do that. Then I'm going to draw a W in the middle. And then we're going to put a triangle on top with the little pencil part. Okay, now we're gonna draw a pencil upside down, kind of like this one. So here's my cup, you guys, with art supplies, right? So I've got my pencil like this. So now I'm gonna draw one upside down where it's sticking out like this, okay? You see how you've got the eraser and the metal barrel, and the metal barrel has some texture to it, so we'll use some lines for that, okay? So to do that, it starts the same as your first pencil, and I'm gonna put it at a different angle. You can make it taller, you can make it shorter. I'm gonna make it a little taller like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a frown on it for the top of that eraser. We're gonna make it a brand new pencil with a brand new eraser. And then I'm going to do some lines right here for that metal barrel. Okay, and then you have an upside down pencil. Another short object that we might want to put in our cup or cylinder are crayons. These crayons are well used. We can draw like a new crayon if you want to, or you can make it kind of rounded at the top like these. There goes our bell. Here at the top of our crayon, if you see, it's a Crayola, right? And it has these kind of wavy lines. So I'm gonna do my crayons right here. I'm gonna start with just one. And then we'll see where we get to, okay? So I'm gonna make it smile. I'm gonna draw 2 lines and a smile. And then I like to draw my crayons, if it's a brand new crayon, it kind of has this up and in, almost like a road cone. And then I kind of have it come up and around like this. That's a big fat crayon. It's kind of extra big, isn't it? Okay. Then I'm going to draw some wavy lines at the top. Okay, and then to just make it look even more like a crayon, I'm gonna turn it sideways and I'm gonna start writing the word Crayola. But I'm just gonna fit what I can on there. All I can fit is the C and the R. And look, the real Crayola is a lowercase r and a lowercase a. And I did them capital. It's not a big deal, whichever way you wanna do it. Okay, when we're done with this, if you want to come back and add some more crayons or some more pencils, you can. It's up to you. I am going to show you how to draw your scissors. If you don't want to draw the scissors, okay, then you can draw some more crayons or pencils right here. You need to draw something else short right here. We're filling in our short layer right now, okay? But the scissors are actually pretty easy. If you can draw cartoon eyes, you can draw scissors, okay? So I'm gonna start, if you look, it's got one big oval and one little circle. So I'm gonna start with a little circle and a big oval. Okay, kind of like it has funky cartoon eyes. Now we're gonna be doing simplified versions of scissors, okay? They will look like scissors, but now I'm gonna draw glasses around the scissors like this. And then I'm gonna do a line down the middle for the center of the scissors, and then 2 lines coming in like this for like the lines coming in. Now, technically scissors usually meet into one blade. They open, and then when they close, it looks almost like one blade, but they'll still look like scissors. And then I like to do a little dot like that for the screw that holds the scissor. Okay, and they look like scissors. All right, now I'm ready to do my background layer, the layer that goes behind this. I like to start with a ruler. You certainly do not have to start with a ruler. I'm gonna do what would be considered more of a wooden ruler, but rulers are just really tall. They have little lines and numbers on them, right? So I'm gonna do a ruler right here on the edge. I'm gonna draw a tall rectangle. And then I'm going to do some little lines. And then if you want to, you can number them. What I recommend is if you want to number them, every 4 you do a number. So on this one, I didn't do numbers, I just did lines. It still looks like a ruler. On this one, I'm going to do numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a 3. And then you can't really see the other numbers because the pencil is overlapping it, right? It's creating that depth and that space. There's lots of different paintbrushes we can draw. I've got a wide paintbrush like this with a flat top. I've got a smaller paintbrush like this with more of a pointed top, okay? So I'm gonna draw a couple of paintbrushes. I might put my wider paintbrush like right here. So just like how we drew our pencils, I'm just gonna draw it taller. And look, this line is gonna be like the paintbrush is behind the scissors like this. So guess what? I have to draw that line through the scissor hole. Yours may not need that. It just depends on where you put it, okay? And then paintbrushes do have those barrels at the top. So just like this one, we're gonna draw some lines. You might even make one down a little further. And then I'm gonna draw a flat paintbrush. Now, texture is how something feels when you touch it. And paintbrushes have texture, so I'm gonna draw some lines inside of my paintbrush for texture. Okay, now I'm gonna draw this pointier paintbrush, and I'm gonna put it right here. Make it a little shorter than this one. When I say that, actually it ended up being right at the same height. So I'm gonna put a smile on it because it's rounded, a little bit more rounded at that end. And then I'm gonna give it a pointy top. And again, we're gonna do some lines. Now this one, you guys see how it stays pretty straight all the way down? I'm going to draw it straight. And then that leaves a hole back here between this and the pencil and the paintbrush. All right, once you're done with your objects, I want you to look at your sides, and you need to draw a line back here that starts here. Some, like right here next to my scissors, you see how that little line, that little curve is just that little tiny piece. This one is gonna be right a little bit bigger. And then I do technically have the back of my cup right here. You have to be really careful with this. And I'm filling it in with Sharpie to make it really dark. When you get your Sharpie, you might want to fill those in with Sharpie to make them really dark. Okay. The last thing that we want to do is we want to draw our table. We want our table to be somewhat behind our cup. We're not going to draw it straight through our cup or our cylinder. We're going to draw it to the side, stop, draw it from the side to the side of the paper and stop. Okay, a couple of last things. I like to have my students put their name in the corner. My name is Mrs. Elkin. So I'm going to write Mrs. Elkin in the corner. You're going to write your name. Whatever you write on your paper when you turn your paper into your teacher is what should go down there. If you have space for more objects, you can certainly add more objects. Another thing I like to do is I like to add what I call expression lines. And you do not have to do this, but I come through and do some of these little extra lines just to make them have some more visual interest, and it looks like it has a little bit of movement. A little bit like Keith Haring, okay? Now next week, we're gonna shade these in using a pencil and creating value to make these look realistic, okay? So you're gonna turn this into your teacher, and then she's gonna tell you what to do after that. I can't wait to see these. You guys all probably did an amazing job, and they're gonna look so good. You are such awesome artists.